Thank you again, everyone, to join us today to today's webinar. My name is Shayna Jacques. I am the Outreach Manager for PSS Circle of Care. And today's webinar, we're going to talk about how to find out about free local resources when it comes to financial education and counseling. Today's presenter is Antia Perkinson, and she's the instructor for Money Made Simple. Thank you again for doing the webinar for us, Antia. If some of you know a little bit about PSS, we are a nonprofit agency that provides services to older New Yorker and their family to the community, and we have to help the community to thrive. We have different type of services. So one of them is the one that I personally work with, is the PSS Circle of Care that provides services to caregiver, for family caregiver or friend who is chronically ill, frail, or has a memory loss issues. We also have a kinship caregiver where someone other than a parent is caring for a child. We also have our coming of age program where we inspire people 15 plus to live with passion and purpose. If you have anybody or who needs any one of these services, please don't hesitate to call us. The hotline number is 866-665-1713. And you can visit us also in our website, that's pssusa.org. Today's webinar will be recorded and will be posted online to our website. So if you miss anything, you can go back and view it again. If you have any question, there's a Q&A box. You can type in your question on top, and we're gonna wait at the end of the presentation to answer all the questions.
As Shayna indicated, my name is Anthea Perkinson, and I have been providing financial education around New York City for a number of years, closing in on a decade at this point, through a variety of different entities, including the Financial Planning Association of New York, the New York Public Library, the Family Justice Center, and a very long list of nonprofits that operate in and around New York City. So I have, over time, compiled a number of different resources that are available to the public, and I'm going to talk about them today. I actually don't have too many slides, so I'll welcome your questions and hopefully point you in the right direction depending on what you're looking for. One of the questions I often get is, who would really benefit from talking to a financial counselor, a financial advisor, somebody who does planning work, somebody who does investing work? And there are a number of situations where this would make a lot of sense. For example, if somebody's finances are a little disorganized, maybe paying bills on time is a little bit of a challenge, that is something that a counselor can absolutely help you with. Put together systems that will make sure that bills are paid on time, that you're optimizing your opportunities to earn more interest, pay less interest on credit card debt, etc. So disorganized finances is a great reason to reach out for help. If you are in debt, whether this debt is from credit card balances, student loans, medical bills, mortgages that you might be getting behind on, there are a number of resources that can help you get on top of this and deal with this so that it doesn't become a great stressful ordeal. If you're someone who finds it difficult to save money, and that can put you behind the 8 ball if any unexpected expense comes up. That's a main reason that people end up in credit card debt, is they simply don't have any savings to fall back on when something comes up. A counselor can absolutely help you figure out how to manage your money to increase your amount of savings. If you have no retirement plan participation, or maybe you're at a job and they offer a 401k plan or a 403b plan, and you know you're in it for 3%, but you've never looked at it, you don't understand it, this would be a very good reason to talk to a counselor to optimize what you have available to you. If housing costs are barely affordable, and New York City can be a very expensive place to live, if that's an issue, there are a number of resources where they can help you figure out, can you actually afford it? What would you have to change to be able to live where you're living? Or how do you go about finding more affordable housing? A lot of people have life insurance questions. Either they have life insurance, they don't know if they need life insurance, or they don't know how to get it. So that's another good reason to talk to a counselor. Education funding. You have children or grandchildren, relatives or friends, and you are looking to put away money toward that child or young adult's education. Great reason to talk to a counselor. Or if you simply have investment or tax-related questions. These are all good reasons that might send you to talk to a financial counselor. So where would you best find these types of resources for become more educated, to feel more confident managing your personal finances? One great program that is open to the public, and it goes from September through May, is the MoneyWorks program at the Borough of Manhattan Community College. This is down on Chambers Street. This is a very well-funded program. It's supported by the BMCC Foundation. It's very visible on campus. Anybody at the university, around the university, and the general public is welcome to attend these classes. They cover everything, starting with budgeting. They go through credit, debt management, retirement plans, entrepreneurship, why you need a will, what you need to understand about personal income tax, insurance, how to avoid being scammed. And as I said, again, these classes are held on Tuesdays from 2 to 4 p.m. between the months of September and May. All of the speakers hold a professional designation. CFP is the Certified Financial Planner designation. CFA, Chartered Financial Analyst. This is somebody who is an expert on investing. CPA, Certified Public Accountant. They do taxes. JD, that's the educational designation for an attorney. So if you're interested in attending, and I welcome you all to come, I teach one of the classes. I teach the budgeting class. Please send an email and join us. If classes during the day are not so convenient, there are other options, including the Money Matters workshops at the Science, Industry, and Business Library, located at 34th and Madison Avenue. If you've been to this library and you've gone to the lower level, you may have noticed Financial Literacy Central. It's sort of a big donut-shaped table or desk, and they have all kinds of literature related to financial education. And the materials are from the FDIC, it's the Federal Department of Investment, FDIC, the Department of Labor, the SEC, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. All of this is around protecting you and educating you about how to best manage your money. So it's a great resource. And the classes are held in one of several classrooms that they have inside the library on the lower level. They're year-round, and they're on every conceivable personal finance topic, everything from budgeting to credit, debt, investing. They do a lot on investing, how to build a portfolio, how to rebalance your portfolio, what type of asset allocation you should have for a retirement account, how to understand your retirement account statements, how to read financial statements, what do financial analysts do, how to pick a good stock. These classes are held year-round in the afternoons, including Saturdays, and in the evening on Tuesday evenings. Here too, the people who are speaking are all professionals holding a variety of different designations. Many of them come from the Financial Planning Association of New York. Others come from the CPA Association of New York City and from a number of these government entities, like the SEC, FDIC, and Department of Labor. Other sources of financial education are available through the city. New York City has a Department of Consumer Affairs, and under the Department of Consumer Affairs, they have what's called the Office of Financial Empowerment. And the role of the Office of Financial Empowerment is to provide basic financial education to anybody in the city. So it's not depending on income, it's people who are interested in this, anybody can come to one of these classes. To expand their reach, what they have done is created the Financial Education Network. They refer to it as by the initials or acronym FEN. And FEN is an enormous directory of nonprofit organizations and social service agencies that will offer some type of public education. So it's not just to their clients, but to outsiders as well. And this is everything from how to qualify for a mortgage. So there are a lot of classes for people who want to buy their first home, their first apartment. So there's a lot around that. How to clean up your credit, how to get out of debt, how to budget your money, how do banks work, how do loans work, how do mortgages work, and how does insurance work, things like that. So one of the best ways to find out about these is to go on the website, and you see it there on the screen, www.nyc.gov/NYC-resources. And it takes you to the Financial Education Network. As I said, these nonprofits are reviewed by the city, the people in the DCA, to make sure that they are legitimate providers, qualified providers of this type of education. Okay. The other way you can access this list, the shortcut, is to simply call NYC 311. They can either direct you to the website or tell you what's available in your borough. On our next slide, if you're interested in one-on-one counseling, there are a lot of places where you can obtain one-on-one financial counseling for your particular questions and concerns. The New York Public Library, again at the Civil Branch, has counseling year-round on Thursday evenings and also on Tuesdays and Friday. You sign up online, you can get a 30-minute free session with a financial advisor. These again are certified financial planners, and they are members of the Financial Planning Association of New York. This is entirely free. There is no promotion, there are no business cards pressed on you, there's no obligation, but you could come in, and I've done this volunteer work myself. I will tell you that a lot of the people who come in have very similar questions and concerns. I see a lot of people come in with statements from past jobs where they've had a 401k plan. They don't know what to do with it. They don't know what their options are. They don't know how to find out and get their current statements. So you can get guidance on how to straighten that out and what your options are once you've left an employer, what to do with that money. There are people who would like guidance on the difference between traditional IRAs and Roth IRAs. There are others who are struggling with student loan debt and need some guidance on what are their best options if they're finding it unaffordable to pay the balances that they owe. And there are people who are trying to figure out if they can afford to buy a house. They've been saving and saving, and they think they can afford it, but they're not really sure, and they'd like to talk to somebody. And obviously, a financial planner should be able to help you get your arms around your numbers and whether or not you're really ready to take on a mortgage. Other people come in and they'd like to know if they are on track for retirement. Now, I will tell you, having had those conversations, that in 30 minutes, you might not get to, the absolute answer, but certainly it's a good initial question to come in and get some guidance on what else you need to look at, what else you need to consider. and then go from there. So those are reasons that people often come in and ask for help on a particular financial matter. And again, this is entirely pro bono. The other wonderful thing that the Science, Industry, and Business Library does is a financial planning day. They're held twice a year, and the one coming up is on Friday, September 20th. It goes from 10 until 5 p.m. And it is a day of workshop presentations, and it's not anybody selling anything. I was talking to the woman at the library who is organizing this, and she's got people from the SEC coming to talk about investing. She's got people from the Department of Labor coming to talk about retirement savings plans, like 401k plans and 403bs and IRAs. She has a number of others. I think she has an elder care attorney, and she has a CPA coming to talk about the new tax law and what planning opportunities you still have before you file your taxes next April. So in addition to all of these professionals talking during the day, the other two wonderful benefits of this day is that there is an area where all kinds of agencies have tables to talk about what they do. So for example, there are senior advocates who come, sometimes from the AARP, and from other entities that are city sponsored. There are housing experts. The Department of Consumer Affairs will be there. PSS Circle of Care will be there, and a number of others. So it's an opportunity to pick up their literature and find out what they have going on. It's pretty impressive, the tables. The other thing that happens that is a great benefit, when you come, you can sign up for a 30-minute free financial counseling session. The Financial Planning Association organizes volunteers to be there all day. And again, these are certified financial planners, and they volunteer to do these 30-minute consultations. It's entirely private. And again, you can bring in whatever question and have that answered and receive information on additional resources and referrals. So it's a great day. They are going to be moving their location, so they've not yet announced their April date. Normally it's in beginning of October and April. Once they move, because they'll be leaving their present location at 34th Street at the end of the year and moving to the Midtown location, they'll then announce when their spring event will be. But if you have time, please come by on Friday, September 20th. Credit counseling. For those who have debt, particularly credit card debt and student loan debt, and are struggling to figure the most effective way to get out of this debt, there are credit counselors available through the New York Public Library, and they work a little bit differently than the financial counselors. What the credit counselors do is set up a series of 45-minute appointments with each of the people they help. Again, this is free. There is a little bit of homework involved because you are working to resolve and improve your credit. So there are things you're going to be guided to do, and then you go off and do them. You report back in, and slowly the situation gets cleaned up. So this is credit crisis coaching, and it's done by the Financial Coaching Corps, which is part of the Community Service Society of New York. And the people who volunteered to do this go through a multi-week training program. Most of them are former or retired financial executives, so they're very good at what they do, and it's a very much in-demand service. Again, it's by appointment only, and you can either call or go online to request an appointment. Other financial counseling that's available, if you've heard of the organization New York Legal Action Group, most people simply call it NYLAG, they do financial counseling for particular people. And the reason they have a particular audience is that these folks are attorneys who volunteer to man the hotlines and talk to people and tell them what their options are and give them some coaching and guidance. So they will do financial counseling for tenants at risk. That's obviously at risk of eviction, for clients applying for naturalization, and for clients preparing for employment, public housing, and services at community-based organizations and CUNY colleges. So another great resource, if it turns out you're not one of the people they typically help, they will refer you back to the library program and other FEN organizations. Other sources of financial counseling, again at 311 or on the resource page for the New York City Department of Consumer Affairs website, there is counseling for people to determine whether they're ready to rent, ready to sign a lease, for example. We still have people who need help and guidance as a result of Hurricane Sandy, and so they still can get that guidance through 311. And of course, since identity theft is a continuing problem for many people, including New Yorkers, there is guidance available for how to prevent and how to deal with identity theft and fraudulent use of personal information. Okay, so there are instructions for what to do if you've been a victim and how to find out how to protect yourself. One or two of the FEN, Financial Education Networks, organizations that are really, really prominent in the group that is online on the city's website are Neighborhood Trust Financial Partners. Their main office is up on 166th Street, but they also teach and do counseling and do a lot of work through other nonprofit partners throughout the city. So you don't have to go up to 166th Street. They do have another location. They're a very good organization. They do an awful lot of work. They are a credit union. They do a lot of work helping people to improve their credit, do a budget, manage their debt, and make the most of their employer benefits. Another great credit union, East Harlem People's Credit Union, also known as the Lower East Side People's Federal Credit Union. They do a lot of public education. They do a lot of housing-related education, and they were doing programs to educate DACA students, what their options are. They do a lot of good. They have an interesting program and some great bank products as well. They're just two that I'm very, very familiar with and have worked with very closely. Obviously, there are many, many more organizations in FEN. So I would encourage you to look at the website, the huge directory, to see which one might be closest to where you live or work. Lastly, we have the Money Made Simple course, which is part of PSS Life University. And in the coming weeks, you'll see that Money Made Simple is going to have a presence on the PSS website. We're going to be in residence at PSS Circle of Care. So the personal financial management class that I teach will start again on Tuesday, September 24th. We'll talk about budgeting and cash flow management and how to make smarter financial decisions. The next class on Tuesday, October 1st, we'll talk about credit, how to manage your credit, and how to deal with debt, specifically how to get out of debt in a very efficient manner, save you both time and money. On Tuesday, October 8th, we'll talk about the keys to successful investing. This obviously includes investing for retirement, but just generally, what do you need to know to be a successful investor? The last class on October 15th, we call it Putting It All Together, Creating a Retirement Income Plan, which draws on the content from all of the classes preceding. It's a great course. We have run it, I think we've done it 4 times this past year, and we'll be doing it, I hope, many more times. Now that we're in residence, we're looking to expand this into all 5 boroughs over the course of the year. So we'll have more volunteers who are going to be helping to present this class. Again, there'll be certified financial planners who volunteer to do this. We're also going to, and this is still tentative because we're working on the details, see if we can set up 30-minute free pro bono consultations for the people who register for these classes. That way, if you have a question that concerns your personal finances, you wouldn't necessarily want to ask it in class, you'll have an opportunity to have that question answered. For this series, it will be held in the PSS Circle of Care offices at 39 Broadway on the 29th floor, and the classes will be held from 2 to 4 p.m. Registration, I believe, will be opening shortly, so I would encourage you, if you're available and interested, to sign up. We've had, as I said, we've run this class now a total of 5 times. So we've got a lot of graduates who've really enjoyed it. We've had some people who've attended more than once, which is kind of fun. Very gratifying as the teacher to have people show up again because they liked it so well. So that is my overview of what is available for no cost, high quality education and counseling opportunities throughout New York City. If you have questions, I would be delighted to answer them.
Thank you again. There's a question on the Q&A box.
Okay. Perfect. May I have the URL for Ready to Rent? Sure. I will send you the Ready to Rent question or URL. Let me get that for you. See if I can. Okay.
Okay. Great. So if anybody has any other questions, so we're ready for any additional question. Again, thank you, Anthea, for a great presentation.
You're very welcome.
So thank you again. Like I said earlier, the presentation will be, it's recorded and it will be added to our website. So if you want to go back and see those links, and you can go back and watch the webinar online on our website. And we thank you for all the presentation that you're doing for us. If interesting with the current one that's going to start at the end of September, I believe. So the flyers information will be also sent to everybody that's on our e-newsletter and also will be on our website.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you again, everyone. See you on the next webinar.
Great. Thanks.
Bye-bye now.